'twas the night before Christmas, and all across the world. Oh man. Some idiots were still glaring because the doctor became a girl. And all the poor idiots snuggled up in their beds had dirges about the timeless children still scurrying about their empty heads. Oh, man. Oh, I gotta start writing this shit down. Just like the Hokey Wokey Christmas album, there are still a lot of song ideas coming in my head about that, what to put on it. But it's another morning here, and I thought I'd pop in, because I got about 15 minutes before I walk in. And I feel like I've been kind of negligent this year, and I started a second run of Fallout 4. And then also, with everything else going on and weirdness in the world, I just kind of lost track of things. Plus, sometimes I let things get me down and I shouldn't. I let people live rent-free in my head and I should just kick them out. But for some reason, that is part of being the human condition. And, so, what's going on out there on the planet? Well, yeah, a lot of people are talking about the RTD interview where he says he's doing auditions and all that, folks. Rule number 1, as you all know from watching Doctor Who in the modern era, the doctor lies. But a lot of you have forgotten about Rule 0, which is the rule that comes before all of them. The showrunner lies. And according to Tanaya Miller, like I said, back in the months ago, she was on Cameo telling people that the next Doctor was cast and they would be fierce. Now, she was deliberately not using, a pronoun to denote whether the person was male or female or whatnot. Like I said, I've already got one source saying that it's going to be a major male actor, which, if that's true, it would be kind of disappointing just to pop back onto a male. But like I said, my other prediction was a while back that if they did go back to a male, it won't be a white Caucasian dude. It'll be someone of a different race, which is not a bad thing at all. Like one of the people, like I said, that I put up to be the doctor, I'd love to see like Rahul Kohli land the role. Tom Ellis would be brilliant, but let's do something that has not been done ever. Now, a lot of people say Idris Elba, and I'm like, I'd like to say Idris Elba. He's an amazing actor. I love him and everything he does. Sadly, they wasted him on that Dark Tower piece of shit, which I can't figure out for the life of me what they were thinking on that movie, where they tried to cram 7 books. The last few books were like 1,000 pages plus into an hour-and-a-half piece of crap where they deliberately skipped over entire chunks, yet they were trying to put the whole damn thing in there. With little nods to here and there. And it's like, really? I'm like, but, and it was kind of sad too, because there was a whole lot of other projects revolving around that universe that were depending on that movie. And it's sad also because Ron Howard had been running around for years trying to get the Dark Tower done, and he wanted to do it on the same scale as Lord of the Rings, which if you've read the Dark Tower books, easily could be that scale. But let's get back to Doctor Who again. But I got sidetracked, because so as much as I'd love to say, I'd love to see Idris Elba in the role, I know realistically it's not going to happen. He's not interested in it. He's made this known quite a few times. Now, a lot of people were saying Ali Alexander, and it's like his publicist has said no, he said no, and I think at this point we can all say I don't think he's lying. But of course there's been the other names, as I said before, that always come up, like, Michael Sheen, this, that, and, Rupert Grint, and, Richard Ayoade. But that's just the way the ball bounces. It's like, this show is, been going on just fine. And as everyone found out yesterday, Ratings UK announced that Doctor Who streamed over 41.8 million times in 2021, making it its most successful year pretty much ever. Yet you've still got guys holding up the TV ratings and going, ha ha, look, it sucks. Ha ha, look, I'm right. But it's like, as I've been saying, TV ratings are pretty much obsolete at this point. Yeah, like I said, sadly, all right, yeah, as John there just put up, yeah, sadly they wasted Idris Elba on that movie, and I would have loved to have seen him done rolling in a proper saga, which is what it needed. Which was interesting because it was kind of weird because I don't know how they were going to pull it off. They were planning on doing a series based off the story Wizard and Glass as a television miniseries, and of course, when the movie bombed, all talk of that disappeared. And it's just depressing too because the Dark Tower is an alternate universe, that this character comes from. But then as you read on, you'll notice there are similarities to the modern real world. In one instance, you discover that if there's a folktale sang in that world, and it's still sang in a lot of saloons, and it's deemed as an old one, and it's Hey Jude. Scary, huh? Plus, there's one time when they discover this one fella, I can't remember what his name was, and he's in a Stuka, a World War II Stuka airplane that had somehow crossed over from our world. And the idiot had tried to fly it into battle, and sure enough, it did not end well. Because, well, they found the wreckage in his skeleton. So, a lot of people have been asking me, what time do I do these? And I'm like, I really didn't have a set schedule. I'm usually at work very, very early. You see, I don't have to walk in the door to about 6, but usually about when it gets towards 20 till, that's when I walk in. That way I got time to get set up, get things done. And I've always made that a habit since my security guard days. Because, matter of fact, they loved me at my security guard job because I didn't have to start work. I think that one started at 6 o'clock in the morning also. And I'd leave the house at 5 o'clock because I knew it would take me a half hour to get to work, from that job at the time. And sure enough, I'd show up, just walk right in, and boom, 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 I'm ready to go. Got my radio and ready to head out to my guard post, which was out in the back beyond. And that's a long story I'll have to tell you. Let's just say there were a few days there that were kind of exciting because I was guarding a bank. But the scary part is all the stuff that happened didn't even have anything to do with the frickin' bank. But okay, that was the highest paying job I had too before I got into this one. And that was like $9 an hour. Which is why when I look around at people who are flaunting a job where they make as much as we do, and it's like, guys, you could wind up out trying to make a living on less than half what you're making now. It's like, what are you doing? But you should be appreciative of what you have. And a lot of people forget that. I'll get a little depressed every now and then. I'll get down, but then I think, I can walk. There's people out there who can't do that. I can see, I can hear, I can speak. There's people out there across the world who can't even do that. Then there's people out there who've, despite whatever, handicap or whatever they have, still excel. Like, I was sitting there today and I saw someone in a wheelchair on TV, and I think it was for one of the television, my wife was watching it, and I'm like, you know what I told people like that? As a guy, Stephen Hawking couldn't move at all, just about. And he's he's up there now with Einstein and Newton because he didn't let it stop him. And that's the thing. If you're feeling down, you're feeling out, think of the things you have that others don't. Like, I know when I'm going home at the end of the day, I'm just thankful I made it home. I'm thankful I made it to work because it's the small victories that people forget and take for granted. Like the other way on the way to work, the other morning, what I didn't mention was I barely missed a group of deer. If I had hit one of those deer, I wouldn't have made it to work that day. I'd have probably been injured, or, then again, with all the airbags and stuff they got in this thing. But still, there's people out there who didn't make it to work. People out there, who just didn't even wake up at all. And those are the ones I want you to think of. I'm trying to depress you. I'm just saying this. When you gather with your loved ones this holiday season, don't take any of them for granted, because I know there's a few empty seats around our Christmas dinner table this year. One of which was my niece. I think, if I remember right, it's going to be kind of hard. Like I said, she was 33 years old. 33. Fit, beautiful young lady. And as far as we know, she got up around 2 a.m. one morning, went to the kitchen, and just fell dead. Not a thing wrong with her that we knew of, other than asthma. And she did have once, we don't know if she had a seizure or what happened. And all I'm saying is this: be thankful of what you do have. Sorry to leave you on such a down note, but that's what I try to tell people. Yes, I may be fat, I may be middle-aged, can't see for squat without contacts, I'm diabetic, but I know there's people out there in the world who don't have a third or even a tenth of the things that I have in my life. So be thankful for what you have. I know it sounds like a Thanksgiving ad, but this Christmas, spend some time with your loved ones, reflect, remember, and look forward to what the next day holds. Take care, everyone. Have a Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. I plan on seeing you again before that, the Happy New Year part, but I don't know if I'm going to be back on for Christmas, because, we've got plans for the holidays. So take care, everyone. And remember, the words that Peter Capaldi's born out as the 12th Doctor. Always try to be nice, but never fail to be kind.